Hey, Soul Leveling fans, this is Chris Bolts coming in with an article from our favorite website, fandomwire.com. This particular article is pretty interesting. It's probably a clickbaity title, but it's interesting nevertheless. It says that solo leveling is gambling with 6 different arcs in one season with the kind of pacing that could eventually backfire. Man, I tell you something. Someone needs to get to some of these online internet sites and tell them you guys need to work on your copy editing and shorten your headlines. So that was as much of a mouthful as some of these Japanese isekai anime that be coming out. But before I do get into the content, please make sure you do like, share, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. All that great stuff really helps me out. So this article is written by Chandra Shekhar. The subheading says that Solo Leveling Season 2 juggled 6 arcs at once. Although the fast pacing works for now, it might ruin the emotional payoff later. Now, if there is one complaint that I do have about the Solo Leveling Season 2, actually 2 of them. This headline actually brings up one of them, which is that it surely did seem like they were speeding through all of those arcs, all those episodes to get to the finale, and one of the problems that a lot of people bring up about Solo Leveling is that there isn't enough time for character development or build up or whatnot. And one of my concerns that I made during the season, as I was reviewing the season, is that, you know, some of the slice of life portions, when they were not having any of the action, those parts where it was just the characters talking and, you know, interacting with one another, it didn't really feel all that great to me. So I can understand that particular complaint right there too. And so we're going to hit the summary bullet points here. Solo Leveling Season 2 covered 6 arcs in rapid succession, and that was a lot of ground they had to cover. So that probably is why they rushed through it. The fights are short and stylish, boosting tension and pacing, and Jinwoo gets stronger very quickly. Yeah, they were short and stylish, and I think a lot of people said that Jinwoo didn't really struggle with a lot of fights, and I did mention that about the fight when he fight against Ant King Beru. It would have been nice to have seen him struggle a little bit more in that fight against Ant King Beru. But last bullet point here, but due to the quick pacing, there is a risk of emotional scenes being rushed or outright ignored. I don't know if we can say that about episode 9 after Sung Jinwoo finally was able to accomplish his goal, which was to go ahead and bring his mother out of that eternal sleep that she was in. Because in Solo Leveling, if your body cannot handle the magic that has been somehow thrust into the world, you fall into an eternal sleep and then eventually passing away. So he did accomplish that, and I thought that was a very emotional moment. But a lot of people actually hated that moment. In the anime here. Hold on one moment. Let me see something. Yeah. So this is an article from MSN, which is Screen Rant. Yeah, so episode 9, actually one of the most downvoted episodes for Solo Leveling, which is kind of interesting considering that a lot of people didn't like the fact that they didn't want to see Solo, or rather Sung Jinwoo, having those emotions, which I think it was very necessary for him to have those have that emotional moment right here. And then you see right here at Otaku Cart, over 1,000 dislikes. Solo Leveling episode 9 sparks major controversy among fans, which I think Sung Jinwoo really needed that particular emotional moment there, because otherwise, if he didn't have that emotional moment, he would simply be a sociopath, which I don't think a lot of people. I know a lot of people who were fans of the manhwa. They really wanted him to be more like what he is in the manhwa. But I think the reason why what helped it become even more popular was the fact that Sung Jinwoo did show that emotional burst, and that actually helped his character grow a little bit. And that's one of the complaints that this article right here is bringing up, is that there is a risk of emotional scenes being rushed or outright ignored. I don't think it was ignored or anything like that, and I think that in episode 9, it really helped this character become even more relatable. So it really worked out to the benefit of this character to have that particular emotion. Let me see if I can find the current episode. It's like let's see. I was kind of confused right there for a moment. I'm not gonna play this episode because we obviously don't want to get copyright striked. Unfortunately, they don't show the downvotes or anything like that. Oh, no, they had it to do. It got 3,100 dislikes, but overall, it's still got 242,000 likes. So that episode actually was pretty popular. So let's go back over to this article. This paragraph right here, what should have taken 3 to 4 episodes was wrapped up swiftly. And this is referencing when they had the Redgate arc. And yeah, that is one of the big problems of this season, is that they crammed so much into 12 episodes. And those 12 episodes were still pretty good, but I would have liked that they would have taken a little more time to go ahead and flesh out that story. In fact, that's one of the hopefully when the season 3 is announced, I hope that A1 Studio and Crunchyroll, or rather Crunchyroll gives A1 Studio even more time to go ahead and develop some additional episodes, expand it out to 24 episodes as opposed to 12, or I think they did 13. So if they did 13 episodes, expand it out to 26, and really comb over the manhwa, the webtoon comic, and the novelization to find out what really can work in the anime, and put that off in there. Go ahead and really build that up. And here's another one right here. A comment from this Ed Northcott. It's an excellent choice to keep the fight swift and intense. I always hated battle anime because the fights always felt ridiculous and the plots dragged on. Hello, One Piece. The focus here is on the story, and the fights are just a part of that, so they get the swift and brutal treatment to reinforce the tone of the story, which makes threats feel more daunting and a character like Egress even more badass. It was a nice touch, Jinwoo noting that if Egress basically held back during her own battle, it was a test, not an attempt at elimination. But wouldn't it have been even better if that battle had lasted just a little longer, so that you can see exactly what Egress could do and which really made Sung Jin-woo say what he said. I mean, the battle that Egress fought against the bear, I mean, he still handled it pretty easily and everything like that. But I think if that fight would have been a little bit longer, and there would have been a little bit more character development on the part of Sung Jin-woo, that line would have been even more impactful. And here's a comment from Temperature Past 9404 from Reddit. Honestly, I felt the pacing to be a bit fast. It could be because I was expecting some more aura panels like in the manhwa. Yeah, and this goes right back to the author of this article, but it was compressed into just one episode. But it being the Redgate arc was compressed into just over one episode. While there's disappointing for some, others welcome the breakneck momentum. There are no moments of delay, no pointless chatter or banter, just straight up grind and climb. So me being ignorant of what happened in the manhwa, overall the pacing of each episode actually did work overall, but I still think that it could have expanded a little bit more to go in there and add some especially when it came to the slice of life portions of the anime, which felt very rushed and very boring. They still could have gone in there and added a little bit more to just flesh all that out. So, and the Jeju Island, if this were a traditional shonen anime like One Piece or Naruto, the Jeju Island arc would have been probably at least 10 to 15 episodes. And then here's the arc title that he provides. And you can see this. Redgate arc was actually 9 chapters. The Demon Castle arc was 5 chapters. The retesting rank arc was three chapters. The Hunters Guild arc was 10 chapters. The Return to Demon Castle arc looks like it was 13 chapters. Wow. And then lastly, the Jeju Island arc was 17 chapters. So yeah, this could have, especially these last two right here, we could have expanded those a little more, because that, for me, that Beru fight would have been a little more satisfying if Sung Jin-woo had struggled a little more in that fight. Instead, when they showed the part where Beru's about to stab him in his eye, suddenly some new feature came up and whatnot, and just gave him the power to overtake Beru, and that was that. Which it wasn't a big payoff for me or anything like that. It didn't have the same impact as when Sung Jin-woo fought Beru, not Beru, but Igris back in season 1. Back in season 1, Sung Jin-woo was getting his ass whooped, but then he dug deep and he found the strength to finally overcome Igris and turn Igris into his first shadow. And so that actually was a very impactful fight. Not the same with Beru. So, but yeah, if you want to go ahead and read this article, I will go ahead and link the article in my description here. I think the overall point of the author is on point, although it still was able to manage to get some emotional payoff. Episode 9 really was a good emotional payoff. Sung Jin-woo resurrecting Ming Byung-gu to heal Cha Hain was a pretty emotional moment, and then releasing Byung-gu to not abuse his healing power. I thought that was a pretty emotional moment there as well. So there was some in the season, but I get the author's overall point that if it were just a little bit longer, it would have been even more excellent. So what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with the author or me about the impact of Solo Leveling being too short, or it could have used a little bit of more of an expansion for the season? Jump down in the comments and let me know what you guys think. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications. All that good stuff really helps me out. And remember, this is Chris Bolt signing off, and I will catch you in the next video. You guys take it easy.